So these days, we all know Klay is Game 6 Klay. Whether it was the game he had against the Grizzlies last year, or the one against the Rockets in 2018, he always seems to come up big in Game 6s. But there was one particular Game 6 that started this all.
Game 6 against the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2016. You know, I'm pretty sure Thunder fans are still having nightmares about this game to this day.
Before we start talking about Game 6 Klay, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any new uploads. Let's first talk about the playoffs leading up to this. So the Warriors, they beat the Rockets easily in 5 games. They then beat the Blazers, again, easily in 5 games.
We won Game 3.
We did. Game 4 was kind of close.
We were scrappy for a while.
It was the OT game, but let's be real, that was easy for the Warriors. Warriors fans were not worried about that. And kind of a surprise, the Thunder in the finals, all season, it really felt like it was going to be Warriors versus Spurs.
Yeah, the Spurs nicked LaMarcus Aldridge from us in the offseason. They were amazing. 40-1 home record, tied for the best of all time. Only game they lost at home was a late game to the Warriors, where it was very obvious the Warriors were pushing for that 73 wins. But yeah, whole season, everyone was like, oh, it's Spurs and Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, easily.
But KD in that series against the Spurs, he was insane. Like, this was prime KD on the Thunder, lead the team, do everything himself. He averaged 28.5 points per game, and that led us to the conference finals. I felt like the Warriors were like the overwhelming favorites going into this.
Oh, I think most people are like, this is done in 5, maybe 6, probably 5 though.
But game 1 was kind of a shocker. The Thunder go into the Bay, they steal the game. Russ, great in the fourth quarter, back when Russ could do that. Durant iced the game, and then the Warriors were like, oh, we got a series here. Like, this Thunder team ain't playing around.
This was really one of the only years after the 2011 finals that the Thunder were all like healthy together. Like, one of the years prior, Durant had got hurt, then Westbrook had got hurt. Really the only time that Russ and KD had been healthy was in 2014. That was KD's MVP year, and they got bounced by the Spurs, who proceeded to beat the Heat by a record finals margin, lest we never forget. So yeah, I mean, the Thunder were back together. They were healthy. They had a good supporting cast. They went into the Bay. They took game 1.
Yeah, then the Warriors responded. Huge blowout. Won the next game by almost 30.
Completely predictable.
Yeah, of course the Warriors were going to respond. It's what they do. But what was shocking, games 3 and 4, the Thunder absolutely blew out the Warriors. And I gotta mention, game 3, remember when Draymond kicked Steven Adams in the
Oh, how could we ever forget?
How did he not get suspended for this or ejected or anything? He got a flagrant 1. The NBA upgraded to a flagrant 2 after the fact, but no suspension for this.
Yeah, this is the thing. People get all hot and bothered about Draymond getting suspended in the NBA Finals. I had zero problem with it because he should have been suspended for this right here.
Oh yeah, he absolutely should have. Steven Adams did get him back. He had a poster on him in game 6, so kind of got him back there, but still easily should have been suspended.
Gotta love how Steven Adams doesn't get him back with a hard foul. He gets him back with a dunk, like an in-game thing. Steven Adams is too nice to like hard foul you like that.
So the Warriors were down 3-1, and this really doesn't get talked about. We always know about the 3-1 in the finals this year, but they were down 3-1. They come back to the Bay. They won a pretty close game and ended up winning by 9, pulled away at the end, and that brought us to game 6 in OKC.
You know, I just remember the hype for this game being off the chart. Like, this game felt like an NBA Finals game.
I mean, with that Thunder crowd, like, you had the Oracle, which back then was just rocking, and that Thunder crowd for the playoff games back then in the KD era, they would go hard.
Oh, those OKC chants. Just OKC, OKC. Like, doesn't get much better than that. I hate them. I hate the Thunder, but I'll acknowledge, I'll give them props. They got a great crowd.
And this is obviously known as the Game 6 Klay, the game that started it all. But the weird thing about it, he didn't start off as hot as I remembered. He did hit a 3 to start the game. The Thunder then went up double digits, but he was only 6 of 15 in the first half. I would have expected like a bit better from what I remember at least.
This is the thing that's so dangerous about Steph and Klay. Like, all they need to do is just see one go in. They are the textbook definition of, I just need to make one, and then they can just go freaking nuclear.
And that kind of started in the third quarter. He hits 2 threes in the first minute of the third quarter. Still again, didn't quite heat up. Steph really cared in the third, but Klay in the fourth quarter, he was nearly perfect.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I just remember it's that iconic deep three he has.
Yep.
With about 5 minutes to go. Even watching it live, the Thunder were still up by 4 after that shot. Like, they still had a solid lead. But that, for whatever reason, that shot, he hit that, and everyone in the stadium was just like, oh, we're in trouble.
I'm in danger.
Like, that shot just had an aura about it, where when it went in, everyone around the world was like, oh, something's about to go down.
I felt the exact same way, and it was so weird because it was contested. Like, Russ was up on him, and it was also deep.
I think that's why. Like, he hit a deep contested three, not out of the ordinary, but he was also like facing to the side, and he had to like relocate his shot to look at the basket, and he hits it, and everyone's just like, ah.
And then it was just Steph and Klay hitting threes from there. And what I remember most about this, looking back at the highlights, they just kicked it up in transition and they just shot threes with just complete confidence. Like, no team in NBA history takes transition threes like this Warriors team.
This team like pioneered transition threes. Like, back in the day, if you took a 3-pointer, unless you were playing for a Mike D'Antoni team, if you took a 3-pointer with like 18 seconds on the shot clock, that's how you get sitting next to the coach for the next 18 minutes.
So Curry hit 2 late threes to tie the game, and then another iconic shot from Klay. 1:41 remaining, Iggy strips Russ. He just passes it out to Klay like an outlet pass, like Kevin Love's been doing this playoffs, and he just takes the 3 immediately. And for Thunder fans, that had to just be a straight dagger.
You know what pisses me off the most about this shot is the Warrior bench reaction.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
Like, they are just losing their they're jumping up and down, and this was when we were just starting to get into our hating the Warriors phase. Didn't quite hate them the year before, because like, okay, this team's been awful forever. They get a few new generational players, they win a championship, that's nice. And then the next year, okay, they won 73 games, I no longer like them anymore. And when that happened, I was just like, ow.
Well, the Warriors, when they just hit those threes, like, it's a death blow. The momentum that they get from that, like, you just cannot respond. How do you respond to that? They immediately hit a 3 within like 5 seconds of getting the ball back to take the lead. Like, as a team, that's just got to be a death punch.
And just look at how the Thunder reacted. Like, every time they came down on offense, they looked completely scared. Even KD, guy who won the MVP 2 years prior, Russ, and would win an MVP the next year. They looked completely out of sorts coming down the floor. And meanwhile, the Warriors, they come down, it's just business as usual.
But how about Klay in this fourth quarter? Game 6, on the road, win or go home, fourth quarter, you're down, and you put in 19 points, 6 of 9 field goals, 5 of 6 from 3. Like, can you really play a better quarter than that to close it out?
I mean, I guess you could have gone 6 of 6 from 3.
True.
But outside of that, I mean, game 6 on the road, one of the most hostile crowds in the entire NBA. Can't do much better than that. That's how you get a nickname right there.
And we all know the Warriors end up winning this series. Steph actually led the team in game 70 at 36 points. And they became just the 10th team in NBA history to come back from a 3-1 deficit.
And then they would become the 11th team in NBA history to lose a 3-1 deficit.
That's what's so funny about this series is, like, we always hear about the 3-1 finals. Like, that gets brought up all the time. But the Warriors came back from being down 3-1 in the series prior to that. Kind of never gets talked about.
Well, yeah, because they lost a 3-1 lead. And it's much more fun to talk about that.
Yeah, making fun of the Warriors instead of hyping them up.
Exactly. Also, I mean, one could make the argument Game 6 Klay broke the Thunder so badly that he caused Kevin Durant to just leave them and head to the Bay.
Yeah, Durant on that moment, Russ got stripped, they pass up to Klay, he's like, I'm done.
Why am I playing with this bum when I could be playing with that guy over there?
Exactly. I can just stand in the corner, hit threes, space the ball, win 2 easy rings, like, that sounds nice.
Live in San Francisco instead of Oklahoma City.
There's really no negatives, like, looking back, KD deserved the hate, but from his perspective, like, you gotta understand.
Yeah, sure, I understand from his perspective, but from my perspective, him.
True. So Warriors versus Lakers, game 6 is tonight. Do you think we're gonna get another iconic performance from Klay?
God, I hope not.
So what do you guys think of game 6 Klay, and specifically this game against the Thunder? If you enjoyed the video, consider clicking on another video on screen, like the video, and subscribe to Synthetic Sports.